government study indicated that as many as 40 million Americans have a mistake on their credit report. And our own investigation of the credit reporting industry shows that those mistakes can be nearly impossible to get removed from your record. But now the reliability of the industry is being questioned in an 8-year Federal Trade Commission study. John Leibowitz is the chairman.
1 out of 5 Americans has an error on their credit report. And 1 out of 10 has an error on their credit report that might lower their credit score.
I'm trying to think of another industry where a 20% error rate would be acceptable.
I think the more we look at this and the more the American people know about this, the madder they're going to get.
Do these companies have a legal responsibility to make sure that the information is accurate?
The federal law says that if you believe that there is a mistake, you can go to them and they have an obligation to do a reasonable investigation. They're not doing a reasonable investigation. They're not doing an investigation at all.
There's a toll-free number you can call, which is likely to connect you to someone on a faraway continent.
Thank you for calling. My name is Kevin. How may I help you?
Where are you located?
India.
India?
But regardless of where they are or who you talk to, they won't be much help.
Okay, so really, you can't do anything for me. I've just been talking to you for 15 minutes. I mean, the only thing you can do is to tell me to fill it out online.
Yes, Mr. Croft.
Okay, thank you.
Besides the toll-free number, they also give you a post office box address where you can send a letter and documents supporting your claim. In each case, it's extremely unlikely that anyone with the authority to resolve your dispute will ever actually see it.
There's nobody to go to. You just keep making phone calls and you just keep writing disputes and you keep sending them your social security number and they don't care. I would get a consumer report and it would look fine. I would go to the bank and they would tell me, oh no, you have all this debt. But no one would tell me what was on there.
They wouldn't tell you what the debt was. And they wouldn't give you a copy of the report that they had.
Nope.
It took Judy Thomas several years to discover what almost no one knows, that the credit reports the agencies send to you are different than the ones they sell to banks, merchants, and mortgage brokers. And she only found that out when a loan officer left her file on his desk and walked out of the room.
And what did you see?
I saw debt from Utah Medical Center. I saw debt from a veterinarian clinic in Utah. I saw collections for a Judith Kendall.
Judith Kendall, not Judy Thomas.
Correct.
What's going through your mind?
What the hell's she doing on my credit report?
You think this would be very simple to get straightened out?
You would think. Yeah, you would think. This is my Judy Thomas versus Judith Kendall file.
Instead, it became a 6-year battle with credit agencies, requiring box loads of correspondence to try and prove that she was Judy Thomas, not Judith Kendall. There are logs of daily phone calls to dispute centers, hundreds of letters to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, even correspondence from Judith Kendall's creditors in Utah, acknowledging that the debts on her credit report aren't hers.
I would get letters back from these companies saying this, in fact, is not you.
You still couldn't get it off your credit report?
No, I sent copies to the credit bureaus, and they would come back as mine, verified, verified. I also hired a local attorney to try and straighten it out. We had everything certified, that this is Judy Thomas, this is where I live. I've never gone by the name of Kendall. I've never even been to Utah, let alone owing a cable company in Utah.
And what happened?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
What kind of problems did this cause for you?
I couldn't refinance. I couldn't take advantage of the interest rates. I couldn't get a car. I couldn't co-sign for my children's student loans. And I'd worked hard for my credit. And these people were taking it away from me.
Finally, Judy Thomas took the only recourse available to her. She sued Equifax and TransUnion in federal court, and after a year-long battle, the credit reporting agency settled for an undisclosed sum and promised to clean up her file. If you challenge a credit report and mail your information to a post office box in the United States, the dispute will likely be investigated in India or the Philippines or South America.
None of us have ever interviewed anybody in Chile from Experian, and we've got a federal court ordering them to bring these people forward, and we're still waiting.
All these people who take the time to meticulously document a case that the bill isn't theirs or the bill has been paid, that is never seen by anybody?
It's not seen by anyone who considers it in determining whether or not information will be removed from a credit report.
It's not forwarded on to the person who has the complaint with you?
No, it is never forwarded on.
We can get a jury verdict for $1 million. That's chump change to some of these bureaus. They would rather pay a verdict in $1 million than to actually go in and change the policies and procedures that they have, because that's much more expensive to them.
I can say this without qualification. The dispute procedures used by the credit reporting agencies, uniformly used, completely fail to comply with the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Courts have found that. The Federal Trade Commission has found that. It's not even a close call.
Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine agreed.
I think the industry is a mess, and I think the impact that has on real people is just unconscionable.
You think they're breaking the law?
I think they're breaking the law. There is no doubt in my mind they are breaking the law.
We wanted to talk to Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, but like most consumers, we were unsuccessful. The agencies referred us to the spokesman for their lobbying group in Washington. He too declined our request for an on-camera interview. But he did provide a written statement citing an industry-sponsored survey that showed that 95% of its customers were satisfied with the dispute process.
For me, after hiring Fortress and working with the team, the process was seamless on my end with the online portal access, the text of information. There's a lot of good ways to get in touch and get information over when it's needed. Otherwise, it's kind of autopilot. Went through the training. That does take some time, but it's valuable information. I learned a lot from it.
Fortress University, you'll feel like family, and you'll know you're getting what you desire done.
With your help and our increased credit scores, we're going to be able to buy whatever we want with a lower interest rate, and not have to worry about getting gouged with those high interest rates. So thanks a lot for your help. Appreciate it.
In 90 days, my credit score went up over 100 points.
Rondi Lambeth, thanks again for everything. You've really helped increase my score by over 100 points and basically took all the delinquent. Very much appreciated. Thanks for a good job well done.
You can really feel in their voice that they care and they're there to help. I mean, you can feel it from them.
Working with Rondi, I did get approved for $44,000.
Without you, man, I wouldn't even be able to own real estate right now.
I've been with them about a year now. I've seen some significant improvements in my credit score.
Before Fortress University, I really didn't know how to get myself out of debt and what to do to start to really build my business and improve my credit and actually acquire wealth.
I've got a 158-point increase.
And thanks to them, I now have a 781 in less than 50 days. It was just crazy.
Using him, my credit score actually went up by 100 points in 30 days working with Rondi. So if you are out there, you're looking for some type of credit repair or whatever, definitely want to talk with him.
Hi, I'm Tina. I have been in the credit world and debt settlement for admittedly 25 years. I've helped thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of consumers resolve debt and get on track for their credit. I have worked with hundreds of different credit repair organizations and several different law firms. I would recommend Rondi and his team at Fortress to help any consumer get a handle on credit and use it to the best that it can be used.
My credit was bad. It was in the 500s. I was making six figures and I literally had pour across my credit. And so in this program, it's revolutionary. And my credit's got 130 points. And that's what Fortress University is. It's a lifestyle to understand the real game of finance and the real game of money and the real game of banking, not the BS crap that we were taught.
76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Is that you?
I'm the CEO and founder of Fortress, America's first holistic financial education company.
I wasn't born into it. We lived on welfare, but I wanted more.
So I created Fortress,
helping people escape poverty like I did.
Mr. Rondi Lambeth, award-winning host of Your Credit Matters radio show and iTunes podcast, the international best-selling author of Great Credit for Life, and a frequent speaker on the topic of finances and credit repair with TV stations across the U.S. and a regular keynote speaker at Harvard. Rondi has helped hundreds of thousands of Americans. He has deleted millions of accounts from his clients' credit reports and eliminated over $50 million in debt.
Who's excited to train with me behind these doors?
Put your hands together for Rondi Lambeth.
Raise your hand if you'd like to have a higher credit score.
A government study indicated that as many as 40 million Americans have a mistake on their credit report. Those mistakes can be nearly impossible to get removed from your record.
1 out of 5 Americans has an error on their credit report, and 1 out of 10 has an error on their credit report that might lower their credit score.
Your FICO score is the most important number in your life. It determines how much you pay for gasoline, groceries, internet, electricity, car insurance, life insurance, homeowners insurance, and interest.
Fortress is one of the fastest growing and most successful credit repair and coaching companies in the country, for good reason.
Get ready because he'll blow your mind.
I feel like my life is back on track. I'm really excited to be getting my credit fixed.
Rondi cuts right to it, shows you how to find financial independence.
Fortress is #1.
You are an absolute subject matter expert. You are passionate about what you do.
A phenomenal thing. Credit cards, no problem. Mortgages, no problem. It's just a tremendous program. We definitely need somebody like you. So thank you very much, Rondi.
I just want to say thank you so much. What you do is bring hope and possibility and calmness. I've been out of the country for 10 years, and moving back here was made a lot less scary, starting the journey of working with you. And just, I am so grateful to you and your team and everything that you are doing right now. It's changing my life.
Credit ratings drastically improved. You had results for us.
He brought me in October. I was 670. By Christmas time, I was a 785. Like, bam, just like that. Incredible results.
Really helped increase my score by over 100 points.
Since I started working with Rondi and his team, their mentorship, it made it just seamless. But within 30 days, my credit rose from a 634 to a 720, which is insane.
Has went from 530 to 735. So I'm very impressed how you've been able to help us, and hope you can help other people like you're helping us.
He did a few simple things that I wouldn't have thought about, and I'm happy to report I went from 500 and something to an 802. I qualify for absolutely any loan there is now. Buying some real estate. I just bought a brand new pickup. Things are good.
Just through getting inside their program, doing exactly what they said to do, no exaggeration, my credit went up 75 points.
We just had Rondi Lambeth come and speak with us, and it was incredible. He taught us about tax strategy. He talked to us about investments. He dropped personal knowledge from his life, and it changed us, and it was amazing.
It's a mindset shift that I need to make, and it definitely opened my eyes to making that shift in order to best leverage my credit. And I appreciate all the knowledge that you share with us.
Yeah, I just had a call with Rondi. It was awesome. Biggest takeaway, I literally figured out very simple ways to not pay taxes on about $50,000 of income, which is going to be huge for me this year.
Thank you so much for your help. I'm so excited about the future.
My name is Rondi Lambeth. I'm a certified FICO credit professional, CEO and founder of Fortress Credit. Been around since 2007. We've helped hundreds of thousands of people remove inaccurate items from their credit report, like late payments, charge-offs, collections, judgments, short sales, bankruptcies, tax liens, repossessions, and everything else. And we do that by simply understanding how the law works.
I want to help you out of that consumer debt, teach you how to increase your credit score, teach you how to make more money at your current job or your current business, and then how to actually create generational wealth without changing your lifestyle. It is going to be a lot of fun. This is not like regular school. Hey, I'm Rondi Lambeth, and this is
Fortress University.
Unmute myself over there. There we go. I'm unmuted on. What did I just do? Oh, I see what I did. No big deal. Hey, everybody. Good to see you all here. We are live on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and for my Zoom folks, we're all live there. So put in the chat, in the comments, if you're on one of the lives, where you are right now. I hope you're safe. I hope you're not in Virginia, or South Carolina, North Carolina. You probably wouldn't be here. So prayers go out to all the millions of people that have no electricity, have no internet, have no cell phone service, and unfortunately have very little government support because government's not going to save you. That's why one of the reasons you need to make sure you have the best credit score you can possibly have, because the government is not coming to save you. Ukiah, California. I think I've been there before. Thank you, Matt. Let me see what we got over here on YouTube. Then we're going to get started. Move it over. All right. Okay, guys. So let me just move this over. Sometimes technology does make things a little harder, and with that, we get to reach more people. So good to be here. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. I know, Matt, you are participating in Colorado. Sarah is in Colorado. Ukiah, give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me okay, there we go. Cool. Thank you so much. All right. Where's my OBS? It is buried. Here we go. There's my Zoom. Here's my keynote. Here it is. So Benjamin Franklin was noted to say that nothing in the world can be said to be certain except for death and taxes. And while this is true, you can actually do something about taxes. You can legally reduce your taxes because in the United States, it's the only country that taxes are voluntary. You can literally volunteer to the government how much you're willing to pay taxes on. It's the only country like that. I think if Ben was alive today, he'd also talk about credit. And we're going to spend most of tonight talking about credit, money, and taxes. So with that being said, let's get started. Oh, it did not populate. Why did that not move over? Give me 1 second, guys. For some reason, it did not recalculate on the old OBS. I want to make sure that it is on the right one. It was working. There it is. I selected the wrong one. So who am I? I'm a FICO certified credit professional, author, speaker. I've been in the credit space for 17 years. We are the third oldest credit repair company in America that I'm aware of. If there's somebody else older than us, please let me know. I only know 2 companies that are actually been around longer than us. We've helped tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people increase their credit scores. So, and it's a lot of people increase their credit, help them get into a house, how to reduce their debt, eliminate their debt, help them with their taxes. So that is who I am. I would like
My
to.
name is Colin Wayne. About a year ago, I started working with Rondi and his team. Within 30 days, my credit rose from a 634 to a 720.
In 90 days, my credit score went up over 100 points.
No exaggeration, my credit went up 75 points.
It has went from 530 to 735. So I'm very impressed how you've been able to help us.
I've been with them about a year now. I've seen some significant improvements in my credit score.
I've got a 158-point increase.
I now have, I think it was a 781 in less than 50 days. It was just crazy.
In October, I was 670. By Christmas time, I was a 785. Incredible results.
You know, the Federal Trade Commission says you are not legally allowed to use testimonials, use reviews, show before and afters unless you can prove it. And I can prove every single one of those as well as thousands more. If you go to our main page, fortresscreditpro.com, click on reviews, you will see how we have over 1,000 5-star reviews that we've collected in just the last 12 months. So there are many, many people that hired Fortress, and I am proud to say we helped them. I'd like to introduce my mom to you. If you look at this picture, it's the only picture I have with my mom as a child. I left home when I was 15 years old. I'm the oldest of 11 kids. I grew up very, very poor. No running water, no electricity. In fact, this was the first house I ever lived in, which was a storage shed that my teenage parents converted into a house, and they put insulation in there to make the storage shed a little bit warmer. You can see my mom is very large in this picture, and that's because she's 9 months pregnant, and I'm also 9 months old in this picture. The following month, my brother Jeremy was born. Him and I share the same age, 2 months out of every year. In fact, his birthday is next Wednesday. Him and I will both be 52 years old. I learned a lot about life from my mom, but I got to tell you, I didn't learn much about money. I didn't learn anything about credit or taxes. In fact, almost everything my mom taught me about money was a lie. I don't think my mom lied to me on purpose. I think my mom lied to me because her mom lied to her, and her mom lied to her, and so on it goes. See, the big lie is that this, the Federal Reserve note that's over my shoulder, is money. We used to use money that was backed by silver and gold. Now, this essentially is a credit card. See, this is credit backed by the U.S. government. It's a Federal Reserve note issued by a company that has no reserves and is not federal. They were created by these 5 gentlemen. We have J.P. Morgan, which I'll move there so you can see his name, founder of Chase Bank, John D. Rockefeller, Jacob Schiff, Max and Paul Wahlberg. 5 white men, some of the richest men in the world at the time, wanted to take over the world. And they knew if they created fractional reserve banking and they could control our money with a one bank, the Federal Reserve, which our founding fathers did not want because they knew it would create problems. The inflation that we are experiencing right now has a lot to do with this. The other thing that J.P. Morgan and John D. Rockefeller made sure of is that you and I, our parents and our grandparents, were specifically never taught about money, credit, or taxes. It is illegal in the United States right now for an education system, for a public high school, public middle school, or a publicly funded college to teach on money, credit, and taxes unless you actually enroll in a class. Now, I only know of one credit class even taught in the United States, and that's my credit class that's taught in now 14 universities coast to coast. That's the only credit education course that I'm aware of. If you're aware of something, please let me know, because I would like to congratulate the other people that are actually doing something about it. So these 5 people created a bank that's not federal, has no reserves, and they control the majority of the money in the world. They control our credit system as well. And once you understand that, you'll realize that our entire economy is built on credit. And the faster you realize that, the faster you'll understand how important your credit score is and how you can escape the rat race, how you can get off the hamster wheel. What if money was no longer a concern? Tonight, I'm going to show that to you. 3 things: how to maximize your credit score, minimize your debt, and multiply your credit. That's what I'm going to show you tonight. How do we do that? Well, the first thing you need to know is how to maximize credit. Well, what is credit? Credit's been around literally for thousands of years. The first documented credit bureau was actually in the 1800s. It was a suit maker in London, England, that got tired of people hiring him to make suits and then not paying him. So he created a list of all the people that did not pay him. And he created a list of all the people who paid late and a list of all the people who paid on time. And then he started selling this list to other merchants. And that was the first documented credit bureau. Now, in the United States, we used to have thousands of credit bureaus. Now we have hundreds. But you probably only thought it was 3: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. But there's many more. If you live in Texas, there's Inverness. If you live in Mississippi, there's a credit bureau in Mississippi. So we still have hundreds of credit bureaus, which are not federal. Credit bureaus are marketing agencies. See, they figured something out around the time that the Federal Bureau of Investigation was created. People were very afraid of the bureau. And so the credit reporting agencies changed their name and they start telling everybody, almost like a celebrity does, we're now a bureau, to scare people into compliance. But they are simply marketing companies that make billions of dollars by selling your information to banks and other marketing companies. Now, how is credit calculated? Well, everything I'm going to share with you tonight is FICO. There are many other credit scoring systems out there, but I'm only going to talk about FICO because that's what 90% of the banks throughout the world use. Now, why do they use FICO? Because it's been around since 1956. It was created by Bill Fair and Earl Isaac. One was a mathematician, one was an engineer, and they created this very complicated algorithm that predicts the future extremely accurately. And I'll share with you here in a few minutes what your credit score actually means, because there's a hidden message behind your score. But before I share that, I want to show you how it's calculated, because almost everything that you have been told, almost every video you've ever watched on social media is taught and produced by people who've never been in the credit industry. They're just regurgitating. In fact, I know several of these social media that literally just copy my videos, post it on their feeds, and then show their audience their reaction to my videos. They don't know much about credit at all. So how is your credit score calculated? See, most credit repair companies and most people focus on negative payment history. That's what they call us for. That's what they want when they call us. That's how they comment on our social media posts. They want to remove the late payments, the charge-offs, the short sales, the collections, the repos, the bankruptcies. And yes, all of those items can be removed from your credit report. In fact, everything can be removed from your credit report. There's nothing, absolutely nothing, that can't be removed from the credit report because it was placed onto the credit report. You'll learn through our education system at Fortress how your credit score is calculated, how they even keep track of the data, and it's going to shock you. Do you know you actually don't have a credit report? You don't. If you went to Experian and said, hey, can I see my credit report? They don't go to like a file cabinet, open it up, and here's your file. They don't even go on the cloud and say, here's your file. Nope. It's all thrown in with everybody else's. In their system, when someone pulls your credit, it pulls it from everyone's information. And that's why credit reports are so wrong. So if you look at this chart here, you'll see that 30% of your credit score is amounts owed. That's how much money you owe other people, of which 90% of that 30 has to do with credit cards. Banks don't care how much money you owe to a mortgage. They don't care. I mean, not banks. FICO does not care how much you owe on a mortgage. They don't care how much you put down. They don't care about how much equity you have. They don't care. They don't care about how much you owe on a student loan. They really don't care much about a car loan, except if you pay it off. If you pay the car loan off, your credit score is going to go down. That shocks people. I tell people all the time, never pay off your car loans early. Never pay off the student loans early. It's just going to hurt your credit. And then they say I'm wrong. And then they do it. And then they call us and say, how do I fix it? You can't. So 30% has to do with amounts owed. 10% over here has to do with new credit. How many inquiries? 15% is how long your credit's been on your file, how long you've had credit. And then 10% is your mixture. They want 3 credit cards, 1 mortgage, and a car loan or an installment loan. They want at least 5 items on there. Here is an insider secret. Give me a thumbs up if you want an insider secret, please. I've been talking. While I wait to see if you want an insider secret, feel free to ask any question you may have regarding credit, taxes, business funding that you may have. Because I'm going to answer every single question when I get done tonight. But I want you to ask the question now so you can concentrate on what I'm saying and not have to remember what your question is. So just fill in the comments, fill in the chat with any question you have. There is no stupid question. There's only stupid people. Just joking a little bit there, but you know what I mean. So ask any question you want, and I will most likely answer it before I even get to the Q&A. However, I will go through them just in case because not everybody's going to be on for the full time. So ask any question along the way. So let's see. Do I have any thumbs up? All right. So Sarah tells me that she would like to know a credit insider secret. Here's the insider secret. You will never have great credit unless you have 3 credit cards and you use those credit cards every month. And starting January 1st, 2025, the entire credit scoring system flips upside down. And the people that have 800 credit scores right now are going to wake up January 2nd with a 600 credit score. And the people with a 600 credit score could potentially wake up January 2nd, maybe hungover, maybe not, with a 700 credit score. Because the entire system is changing January 1st. And I'm not sharing on social media what the change is. I'm only sharing it with my clients because I want the thousands of clients that I have to have an unfair advantage because they're going to know, they know right now what to do to make sure January 2nd, they have a 100 to 200 point increase in their credit score. Where if you don't become a client, you're not going to know until January 2nd. 3 credit cards used every month. And then I'm not going to share, unless you become a client, what you actually need to be doing with those credit cards so you can have a much higher credit score. Because what's going to happen January 1st, the people that lose those, let me tell you, they're going to use the average American is going to lose 165 points on January 1st. 165 points. And what they used to be able to do to get those 165 points back is not going to work. In fact, they're only going to get about 7 points a month over the next 2 years. So they're going to go from 800s to 600s. And they're going to have a poor credit score for 2 years, all because they don't know how to handle and manage their credit. Now, the last thing on here, this little guy right here, this 35%, that's what most people focus on. But if you look, this is actually from FICO's website. Do you see anywhere on here that says negative payment history? You see where it says late payments? Charge-offs, collections, short sales, repos, bankruptcies. Do you see that anywhere here? No, you do not. You see payment history, which also includes positive payment history. See, 80% of your credit score has nothing to do if you pay your bills on time or not. Nothing. 80%. And this is why when you hire a credit repair company, a typical traditional monthly service, pay as you go, try if they can, credit repair company, most of the time you're going to leave that company with a lower credit score than when you started. And why is that? Because 80% of your credit score has nothing to do with late payments. It's everything else. So here's what we do at Fortress. We fix the bad stuff and teach you how to increase your credit score by doing the right things that FICO wants you to do. That's how we're different among many other reasons. So in order to obtain unlimited credit, you need to understand the credit system. Part of that has to do with how to use your credit. So I want to pull something up for you. Let me adjust this a little bit so you can see it a little better. So your credit score, your FICO credit score, is a 300 to an 850. You probably know that, don't you? Now, there's lots of different scores out there, like I said, but this number actually means something. Now, I got to throw this out there. I was trained by FICO. I have thousands of hours of continuing education, advanced law education, contract education. I have spent over $500,000 in the last 10 years alone on my education about credit, contracts, and taxes. I'm in multiple masterminds and groups all year long, and I travel all over the United States learning from attorneys about credit, money, and taxes. So what I'm getting ready to share with you is not an exact rule. You're not going to see this in the FICO's handbook, which you will never see, by the way. But for all the fact checkers out there, hear me out. This is not an exact science. It is a range so you can understand it. I like to teach in ways that 7-year-olds can understand it. We're all busy adults. The last thing you and I need is to sit in a lecture with people saying words that we don't understand and then looking at us and making fun of us and gaslighting us like the media does. You ever notice that? The media is gaslighting us of their day, saying the economy's great, the world's at peace, everything is so good. I don't think so. So, check this out. If you put a period here, a percentage there, a period there, what do you have? You have 30% to 85%. That's what your credit score means. So if you have a 640, there's a 64% chance you will pay your bills on time over the next 2 years. See how simple that is? Has anybody ever explained that to you in a way that you can understand? If you have a 550 credit score, there's a 55% chance you'll pay your bills on time. If you got a 750, 75%. 850, 85%. That's all that means, guys. That's it. You want to know how many points are available for bad credit? 110 or less. Our average client that comes to us is this right here. This is the traditional, but this is what the average client that comes to us is an 80 to 150 or 80 to 105 points. So if you come to us with a 500 credit score and all we did was remove all of the late payments, just instantly remove them, you're going to have a 505 credit score. You're still going to have horrible credit. If you come to us with a 600 and we remove everything, you're now a 700. You still have bad credit. The banks want to see a 750 or higher. Oops, move that over. That's the magic number, folks, right there. 750 or higher. And if you had a 750 or higher, you get credit cards like this. Now, one of the things I'm going to teach you is you need 3 credit cards, preferably 4, one of each of these. Why? If you have one of each, it's a better mixture of credit, higher credit score. Because remember, 10% of your credit score is mixture, which is 55 points. So if all you had is one credit card, there's 55 points right there you're losing because you didn't go get 2 more credit cards. See how simple that is? I'm going to teach you the basics of credit and then the advanced stuff of credit, all broken down into 1 to 2 minute long videos that are in order of importance in a way that you can understand. Today I was talking to one of my clients, he's a truck driver, and I was explaining to him what he could do to reduce his taxes because as somebody who drives a truck for a living, working his butt off on the road 26 days a month, I personally don't think he should be paying income taxes. So I went through a strategy with him on how he could pay nothing in income tax next year, legally, ethically, and morally. And then he could take that money and use it to buy a house instead of giving it to the government who sends it overseas to countries that want to kill us, that don't even care about us. I don't want to send them any money. I spent 15 years in the military on a medevac helicopter. I've seen enough war. I've seen enough people shot. I don't want any of my money going overseas used to kill other people. Whether they're good people or bad people, that's just my opinion. After spending 15 years in the military, 11 years in the fire department, I've seen enough. I don't want to see any more, and I don't want my money to support it. So you need 4 credit cards to make a 750 credit score. You need to use them the right way. So the cost of bad credit, very simple. Here's an F-150. If you have poor credit, less than 740, your payments can be $1,138 a month. If you have good credit, it's going to be $738. That's not inflation. This is just the cost of bad credit. That's a $20,000 difference, which means you either have to be able to afford the $1,100 payment or buy an older vehicle or one with lots of miles, which is most likely going to break down. Anybody ever done that? Bought a new car because your other car broke down and then the new car breaks down months later and now you're really upside down and now you're stuck? I couldn't tell you how many times I talk to people and I ask about a certain loan on their credit and they're like, oh yeah, that's a car that broke down. I'm like, well, where is it? It's in the driveway or it's in front of my house. They won't come get it. I'm still making the payments on it. It's too expensive to fix it. That's the problem with bad credit. How about on the house? The difference is $100,000 on a house. You got good credit, your payment's $4,700 a month. Bad credit, $5,500 a month. And that is not including the difference in your insurance, which could be 3 to 4 times higher because of your credit score. Bet you didn't know that. How much you pay in insurance is a direct relation to your credit score. And then credit cards. Everybody knows this. There's some really cool things about credit cards. Here's the thing with credit cards, like a gun. They can be dangerous, but they can be amazing if in the right hands. If you get credit cards, pay them off in full. You'll thank me in January when you figure out what's going to happen in January. It's all based on credit cards, by the way. Big changes coming in January. So 100% of all credit reports contain mistakes, errors. This client had 14 different spellings to his first name, which was John. And his last name wasn't much more complicated than that. In fact, his last name only had 5 letters, W-E. And he had another E. I can't tell you the other 2 names or the other 2 letters. 100% of all credit reports contain mistakes, 100% of the time. Look at this. The bottom credit bureau is saying this client was late, right there, late in September. That one says it was late in October, but paid as agreed in September. Which one is it, guys? You see that inaccuracy? October, September, October. They don't even know when you were late. See, if you hire a regular credit repair company, they're going to send a letter that says, I was not late. And then they're going to reply back and say, well, actually, you were late. See, when I send a letter, I'm going to say, hey, Experian, why are you reporting me late in September and TransUnion's reporting me late in October, but paid as agreed in September? Why is your information different than your competitor? Are you trying to pull one over on a bank? Are you attempting to commit fraud? You know it's illegal to report inaccurate information. Why are you doing this? If you can't tell me why, please delete it. How do they respond to that? Verified? I didn't ask them to verify anything. I asked them a question, why? And if you ask questions, you get better answers. And the answers end up looking, I'll show you in a second. This is actually one of our dispute letters. All of these red circles are items that are inaccurate, and we ask a question on every single circle. TransUnion says the account's open. Look right there, open. Experian says it's closed. Which one is it? Is it open or is it closed? Are you pregnant or are you not pregnant? Are you healthy or not healthy? Are you short or tall? Skinny or fat? I mean, there's obviously a difference. Now, you might think, well, that doesn't really matter if it's opened or closed. I mean, yeah, the Chinese protests were April 1989, and I wasn't there until August, and I told everybody for the last 35 years that I was there in April, and yet I wasn't there until 5 months later. What does that matter? It matters. The reason it matters is because if this client was trying to get a mortgage, because TransUnion's reporting is open instead of closed, they've been denied the mortgage. It matters. Every single thing on the credit report matters. That's why we have the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1970. It's why they're constantly editing it, is because these banks and bureaus just keep violating the rules. They get away with it. Why? Because they contribute to campaign contributions more than almost any other company in America. They're paying off the politicians to look the other way. When you dispute things properly, this is what you can expect to get back in the mail. Oftentimes people ask me, like, what am I going to have to do? How much work is it? How much time is it going to take? Here's what you got to do. You got to sign up, which is going to take you less than 5 minutes. And then once a week, check your mailbox. And if you get a letter from a bank, a collection company, or credit bureau, you simply take your phone, take a picture of it, and upload it to your secure portal where our paralegals will look at it, review it, create another custom dispute letter, and send it out. And then you start getting letters like this, deleted, deleted. You look at this one right here. This is this is what it looks like, deleted. That chart on the other side is, instead of making you look at a credit report that could be 72 pages long, we put it on one page if we can. And we highlight it what day we got it deleted. 90% of this gentleman's credit was removed in less than 6 months. Our average client is with us 6 to 9 months. The average client with the largest credit repair company in America, the one that was fined $3.4 billion last year in April 2023. Look it up. Lexington Law CFPB lawsuit. $3.4 billion for breaking the law. Their average client is with them, according to their website, 22 months. Our clients, 6 to 9 months. You decide which one you want. When you have mistakes like I showed you, not only do we get it deleted, your score goes up, sometimes you get paid. How can you get paid? I'm part of a law firm. I'm not an attorney. This is not legal advice. However, I work for dozens of law firms nationwide as a credit expert witness. I've worked on thousands of lawsuits. This is one from September 23rd for one of our clients. I can't tell you the bank's name. That's why I blinked it out there. But let's say that, well, if I said their name, you would know who they are. They're a cell phone company. Big one. Third largest in the United States. They reported our client late on a credit report when she was not late. We asked them to fix it. They refused. We sued them. She got a check for $8,000. Not bad. We deleted the collection. Her score went up 200 points, and a check for $8,000 was issued. Pretty cool, isn't it? Now, most of our clients, when we do this, is about $1,000 to $1,500. So if you have a collection on your credit report, a repo, a short sale, a foreclosure, a charge off, there's a high likelihood that we may be able to get you paid. Doesn't cost you anything. So you don't have to give us any money up front. We're paid on contingency. If we win, you get paid. If we lose, we pay the money regardless. I can tell you this, we haven't lost in over a decade. Very long time.
I grew up as a Southern girl, Baptist girl gone bad. Men took care of the finances. I never felt like I could actually understand it because I just kept hitting walls. You know, my credit was bad. It was in the 500s. And it wasn't because I was a bad person. I was making six figures and I literally had poor across my credit. The psychology is against us. And so in this program, it's like, it's revolutionary. And my credit's about 130 points. And that's what Fortress University is. It's a lifestyle to understand the real game of finance and the real game of money and the real game of banking, not the BS crap that we were taught.
How much BS were you taught about money, credit, taxes, or were you taught anything? You know, oftentimes people will say to me, well, in our culture, we were never taught about money. And I always have to say, you know, in every culture, very few people. There's actually only one culture that teaches their children about money, and they're the richest culture in the world. Smallest demographic in America, largest amount of wealth in America. You figure out what culture that is that actually teaches. Most people are never taught about money, credit, or taxes. And isn't that a shame? I mean, it affects all of us. Wouldn't you think that that would be more important to learn than some of the stuff you were taught in high school or college? Definitely no. It's really sad. Good news is I'm going to help you. So taxes are our largest expense in life. I believe taxes and inflation are what keep most people in a job that they hate. In a marriage that's dangerous, abusive, in other relationships, because they're giving away 30 to 50% of their money to the government, who just blows it on things, puts it in their own pocket. I mean, let me ask you a question here. I was reading a thing yesterday. The Clinton Foundation was created by Bill Clinton and Hillary. Both of them worked for the government their entire lives. None of them ever made a bunch of money. I think Bill made the most amount of money as the president, which was a couple $100,000 a year. Have you ever wondered how they become billionaires off of $100,000 a year salary? $200,000 at his peak? How is he worth billions of dollars? Their foundation, how have they been able to collect and donate hundreds of millions of dollars? Isn't that interesting? Our government is corrupt, in my opinion. And I think one of the most patriotic things that you can do is to learn how to legally to reduce your income taxes. One of my favorite ways, and I have 269 ways that I can help you reduce your taxes, 269. One of my favorite ways is by doing what the rich people do in Augusta, Georgia. That house behind me rents for $100,000 a week. And the owner of the house doesn't have to pay any income tax on it at all. He rents it to Tiger Woods, 100 grand, goes into their bank account, zero tax. Is that fair? I think it's fair. And the reason why I think it's fair is because every single one of you on here right now can do the same thing. Every single American that has a residence can do the same thing. Now, what does that mean? A house, a car, a boat, an RV, a tent. You don't have to be a homeowner. You don't have to be renting a home. It could be your residence, and you can rent that residence 14 times a year, 100% tax-free. And I'll show you inside of Fortress University how to do that. How about this? If you got children, do you know if you start a new business, you get almost a $15,000 additional write-off per child you have? Have your daughter help you mop the floor. Maybe you get a picture with your daughter and you put it on social media about your new business. $15,000 write-off. How about you send them to college and you take out a $35,000 write-off? All if you understand the Internal Revenue Code. 99% of the IRC Internal Revenue Code, 99%, that's 99% of it, has to do with how to lower your income tax. So if you ever want to just learn, it's 4,000 pages. Of the 4,000 pages, 40 have to do with charging you taxes. 3,960 pages is how to pay less. Now, that's a lot of reading. I love it. One of my favorite things to do is work on taxes.
I owe in back taxes in total like 400 grand, but they'll probably get me down to like 50 grand in taxes, 50 to 70 grand in taxes due.
It's not a bad deal.
Not a bad deal.
I just had a call with Rondi. It was awesome. Biggest takeaway, I literally figured out very simple ways to not pay taxes on about $50,000 of income, which is going to be huge for me this year.
How would you like to owe the IRS $500,000 and we save you 450 grand? Or like the doctor said, I showed him how in less than 20 minutes, I shared one of my 269 proven strategies. These are not loopholes. This is the law. I don't do loopholes because loopholes get you audited. In less than just a few minutes, I showed Dr. Baker how to save $50,000. Pretty cool, huh? How about saving tax or saving on debt? We settle debt. So if you have charge-offs, collections, repos, short sales, foreclosures, we can settle that for pennies on the dollar. Here's one, 61% savings, 66% with Wells Fargo, 67% with American Express. This William had one with PNC Bank, 71%. Today I got one at 96% off. And then sometimes we get you paid like you saw earlier.
Hi, my name is Amy. I went through a terrible divorce. My credit.
Well, I screwed up on that, but I'm running behind. Basically, she said she had a horrible divorce. We fixed her credit, eliminated the credit card debt due to the divorce, and then helped her buy some real estate. I buy real estate. These are my apartments here. I've helped people get on, buy those. And then we help you establish business credit. You can establish business credit with a poor personal credit score. And then you can go out and buy other businesses with your business credit. You can expand your business, which means you make more money. You can buy real estate with it. And we have a system with over 500 vendors and banks in it that once you sign up, you get a login and password, which you can have tonight. You log in, and it literally step by step how to build business credit, how to apply for credit, where to go, who to talk to, etc.
Working with Rondi, I did get approved for $44,000.
Without you, man, I wouldn't even be able to own real estate right now.
Before Fortress University, I really didn't know how to get myself out of debt and what to do to start to really build my business and improve my credit and actually acquire wealth.
Doesn't matter if you're young, you're old, you're short, you're tall, you're ugly, you're cute, you're fat, you're skinny, color your skin. I don't care. I can help you. Increase your credit, reduce your taxes and debt, maximize your assets. I'd like to introduce my family to you. Like I said, I'm the oldest of 11. I have 3 children myself and grandson that is turning 13 years old in 3 weeks. I learned at a young age, I left home when I was 15 years old. And I learned at a young age, it doesn't matter how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. Keep more of it from the IRS, keep more from banks. And I've learned that if I work with my family, they're members of my LLCs, board members. They don't have to do a lot. They just have to contribute. That instead of doing family vacations, we do business trips. So when we went to Costa Rica in 2020, rented the private jet, flew around the waterfalls, looked at all the koalas and all the sloths and all the cool stuff in Costa Rica is 100% tax write-off because it was a business trip. And I used points to also pay for a lot of it. I want to share with you how you can do the same thing. And if you don't like your family, go get a new family. You know, when my kids were little, I never gave my kids allowances. Why? Because I understood that if my company gave them up to $15,000 a year to pay for their gymnastics, their karate, their football, their soccer, their cheerleading, their modeling, that the company could write it off. And you might be thinking, well, I don't own a company. How could I do that? You start one. There's lots of MLMs out there you can start for less than $100. And as long as you make $1, you can write all this stuff off. Well, where's the $15,000 come from to give to my kid? You donate it to your LLC. And then the LLC gives it to the kid, and then the kid gives it back to you. And now you just wiped out $15,000 of income. It's 100% legal if you know how to do it. And again, it's not a loophole. The other thing is I'm going to teach you how to build credit for your kids. When my grandson turns 18 in 5 years, he's going to graduate high school with an 800 credit score, where everyone else in his class won't even have a credit score, and it will take them another 10 to 12 years before they even have an 800. How is that? Because I've been adding him to all my credit cards, and I'll teach you how to do the same thing. You know, for the longest time, I thought something was wrong with me. You ever feel this way? Like, you're a good person. You went to school, you got good grades, you got a good job, you met someone, you married them, you had kids, and now you're just paycheck to paycheck. You're barely holding on. You're having to use your credit cards to pay for groceries. You're having to pick what bills you're going to pay. You're like, what did I miss? And then you get on social media and you see everybody else doing so great. You're like, how is my life so hard and difficult when everybody else is doing so good? Well, the rest of them are all, I'm not going to say they're lying, but they're not sharing with you all the bad stuff. They only share with you the highlights. So I was like, what am I missing? And I figured it out at a young age, fortunately for me, and now I'm a multimillionaire. And I have been since I was in my 20s. What I figured out, the missing piece was financial education. So I created Fortress University. It's a financial education platform that shows busy adults how to manage their money, increase their credit scores, reduce their taxes, eliminate their debt, start a business, start real estate investing. Fortress University helps you make it to where money's no longer a concern. I think that's the missing piece. And then I realized that what my clients need is they don't want to just watch a video on a screen. They want to engage with me. They have questions for me. So every Thursday of the month, including tomorrow, if you sign up tonight, you enroll with us, become part of Fortress University. Tomorrow you can attend the personal finance class. Every Thursday of every month, I do a live coaching call for an hour. Last week, I went an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, and I was late for another appointment. I want to help you with your money, your credit, and your taxes. I really do. Now, that doesn't mean the only time you can talk to us is on Thursdays. You can call us Monday through Friday. You can even call us on Saturdays and Sunday if you make an appointment. This is just when I have my scheduled calls, where I go over the stuff that I will not put on video. Don't worry, if you miss it, you can watch it inside of Fortress University. You just can't share it on social media. See, this bridge represents financial freedom on the other side. You can run across the bridge, you can walk, you can crawl. I will carry you if you need it. And I do that with the coaching, with the support, with the education. How long it takes you to get to an 800 credit score, that's up to you. The credit repair, removing the items, that's pretty easy. All you have to do is check your mail once a week. Check your mail, upload your documents once a month, send us a utility bill. That's it. So if you can take 5 minutes out of the week, if it even takes you that long to check your mail, you'll have success with us. In fact, we have a money-back guarantee. The money-back guarantee is very simple. If you do what I tell you to do and it doesn't work, I'll give you back all your money. It's really that simple. If you do what I tell you to do and it doesn't work, I'll give it all back to you. In 17 years, I've never had a failure. I haven't had a single client out of thousands of clients that I had to give back the money because I failed. It just doesn't happen. That doesn't mean I accept every single client that applies, because if you apply with us and you're an absolute train wreck, like you like ripping people off, you get loans and credit cards and you never make payments, you owe back child support, you didn't pay the last credit repair company and they got a collection on your credit report, I'm not going to accept you because you're not going to pay us either. And then you're just going to complain online and file fake reviews saying that we're horrible. But if you actually do what we tell you to do through our system, it will work. And if it doesn't work, I'll give you back your money. It's really that simple. So there's nothing to risk here. I find it odd. That one of the most common questions that we get on social media is this a scam? Are you going to steal from me? Are you going to steal my identity and rip me off? And what I find that odd is most people who hire us for the credit repair have horrible credit. They have no money. So what are we going to steal from you? We're here to help you. We're not here to try to open a credit card in your name with your bad credit. We're here to help you. And so it always perplexes me when they're like, are you going to scam me? Like, I would be the dumbest criminal on the planet if I was going to try to make money scamming someone with bad credit. Like, that's ridiculous. I'd be doing something else like crypto or something, ripping off rich people, not poor people, not middle class with bad credit. So here's what you get with us. I'm going to show you how to save $5,000 in income tax. I used to charge $3,000 for the credit repair. Right now, I charge $500 a month for the coaching. In a year, that's $6,000 times 12. I charge up to $2,000 to put a $2,000 credit card on your file because it's been open for 20 years. It's a long time. And then I charge $2,500 to teach business owners how to start a business and create business credit. If you join with the link that I'm going to share with you tonight, after you apply, if you bought all of that, if you could find one person to buy that from, it's going to cost you $18,500. Good luck trying to find one person like myself that can offer all of that to you. But you're not going to pay $18,000 with us. You're not going to pay $5,000, $3,000, $2,500. You're not going to pay any of that. What you're going to pay is about what it would cost to go to a restaurant, a mediocre like a Village Inn or Denny's. Can you afford that? Not every night, once a month. If it changed your lifestyle, helped you become financially free, helped you get out of that job you hate, helped you get out of a relationship that's been toxic for years, help you start receiving a retirement account or maybe even buy a house, what's that worth to you? Is it worth one dinner? Now, you might be thinking like, well, if you've been a multimillionaire since your 20s, why are you doing all of this? I used to have a financial goal that I would make millions of dollars, help thousands of people, and leave it to my children. And on November 25th, 2023, which was less than a year ago, I had a massive heart attack. Doctor told me I was within minutes of dying, and the only reason I'm still here is because it happened really close to a hospital, and I went in immediately. I was getting surgery within about 40 to 45 minutes of the original symptom. If I'd have stayed home for another 5 to 10 minutes, I wouldn't be here. My goal today is to help millions of people help millions of other people. And so I priced this program to where you pay the cost for us and not a whole lot more. We're making our money off the litigation and the private consulting that I do, not off the credit repair. I mean, certified mail is like $6 an envelope. If you got 10 items on your credit, that's $60 times 3 bureaus. That's $180 just for the postage. What about the paralegal to look at it, the attorney to look at it, the credit consultant, the printer, the paper, the envelope, the ink, the office space, the internet? At the price we are charging, you are paying the cost and not very much more than that. So why do I do it? Because I truly want to help you escape the rat race. That's why. I don't have to do this anymore. I have enough apartments to pay for my bills. I have enough cash flow. I want to help you. So here's what you do. You take out your phone. If you're on your phone, I'll paste it in. If you're on your phone, I'll paste it in over here in the chat. Oops, it didn't save. Let me grab it. Copy. Paste it right here for you. So if you're on your phone, you scan that in. The credit repair, it's not going to cost you $3,000, not $6,000, not $2,500, not $5,000. Nope. It's $129 a month. No long-term contracts. No retainer fees, no management fees, no setup fees, no cancellation fees. It's $129 to get started, $129 per month, cancel anytime. If you don't have $129 today, which I completely understand, because you probably get paid tomorrow. I know my folks that are on government pay or disability, they get paid on the 3rd. You pay $1 to reserve your spot. If you have lots of questions and you're still not sure, am I going to rip you off and steal your identity? And then pay $1 tonight. Make an appointment with one of my consultants. Spend an hour on the phone with them, asking any question you have, and then they'll enroll you for $129. If you want to skip all of that, go to the front of the line, so you're the first person that gets their letter sent out tomorrow, and you're able to do the coaching call with me tomorrow night, then pay the $129 tonight. And if after enrolling, doing your onboarding call, doing the coaching call tomorrow, you're like, you know what? That guy is full of it. Send us a text message, send us an email, give us a call, whatever's easiest for you, and say, I changed my mind. I don't want good credit anymore. I just don't want it. I don't trust you. Whatever your excuse is, we'll just give you back the $129. I don't want it. I only work with people that want to win. I don't work with losers. I work with winners. There's a saying that says, how do you make someone hungry? And they're talking about like the appetite for success. You can't advertise to help people for hungry people. You got to find people that are hungry. I only want to work with winners that want to win when it comes to money. So if you're a winner, you can enroll by scanning in that QR code or going into the chat and click on the website, which is, Jeannie put the consult in there. Let's just remove that, Jeannie, because I don't want that in there yet. They get that, Jeannie, when they sign up. So shop.fortressu, that's going to get you enrolled. Again, you got a choice. You can enroll tonight for $1. Money's tight. Get it. And then you can schedule that for the $129 for a month from now, next year. I don't care. Just get in the system so you can start getting the education. So scan it or go there. Now, when you scan that in, here's what it's going to look like. Oh, forgot this. All of you tomorrow that are on the coaching call will get the link. Do not share it, Jeannie. We'll get the link tomorrow for a $1,500 credit card, regardless of your credit score. They don't care if you have a 400 credit score. They're going to give you a $1,500 credit card. Why would you want that? Because it's going to drive up your credit score. The more credit cards you have with no balances, the higher your credit score is going to be. So tomorrow, I will give you this $1,500 credit card. I'll give you the link. Okay. So again, you scan it in right here. Now, if you have questions, you can start typing them in. I'm going to check over here on the social media lives. Let's see if people have questions. Not yet. Okay. So now let me show you what it looks like, because sometimes people get a little ahead of me and they're like, I want to do it. And they get hung up. So here's what you do. You choose which one do you want. The $129 a month, that's for personal finance. Everything I talked about tonight. If you're a business owner and you want the advanced credit repair with the business credit and funding program, then it's $299, 100% tax deductible, by the way. And I guarantee you will obtain at least $50,000 in business credit. $50,000. If you don't, I give you back every penny you ever paid me. You log into the system, you watch a 2-minute video, it tells you what to do, you do it, you get approved for the loan. We have over 500 banks and vendors that will loan you money if you apply, but you need to know where to go. You know how to do it. I know when the doctor was working on my heart and he was inside my heart with a camera looking around, I wasn't thinking, wonder how much he's making an hour. How much is this going to cost me? And he doesn't charge per hour. And when he was done, and it was probably less than 30 minutes, I don't know, I was on fentanyl. I wasn't high by any means. Extremely painful. A guy with a wire with a camera inside your heart digging around. So I don't know if it was 20 minutes or an hour. I don't know. But what I do know is he's done it thousands of times. And he went to at least 22 years worth of college. 22 years of school, rather. So it's not how long it takes us to fix your credit. The reason you're hiring us to fix your credit and establish business credit is not how long it takes us. It's how long we've been doing it. Because if your $129 is just paying us and not much more, why would I ever want to drag that out? I want to fix your credit so fast that you leave me a 5-star review tomorrow. Sometimes it takes a while because the banks are stubborn. You owe them money. They don't just roll over. Sometimes it takes 6 months. Sometimes it takes 9 months. It all depends on your credit and how fast you can get me the documents you receive in the mail. If you dilly-dally on that, it's going to take time. Okay. So once you do that, you click on this, and then the next page is going to look something like this. Pretty straightforward. Setting up Credit Mojo. You need credit monitoring. In order for me to look at your credit and give you a plan, a list of what we're going to do, and an attack plan to fix it, I got to be able to see your credit. I can't just magically think of what's on your credit. People are shocked. They're like, what do you mean you got to look at my credit? How do you expect me to dispute anything if I don't know what it is? So you got to sign up for Credit Mojo. Normally it's $39.95. Through this link, you're going to get a discount. It's only going to be $25. That's what Credit Mojo, that's what it costs them. Their profit's about $14 a month per client. So you're getting it at cost. You click on that, set up your Credit Mojo. After you set up your Credit Mojo, you're going to get this page. You got to upload your IDs. I had a client today. It was a client. We fired him. We fired him because he refused to give us a driver's license or social security card. Now, why would I fire him? Because without a social security card and a proof of your name through your ID, the credit bureaus ignore us. So why would I accept him as a client if he's unwilling to give me a driver's license? Because when I send the letter to Experian, they're just going to throw it in the trash because it's right on their website. If you dispute, we need 3 forms of ID. If you don't provide 3 forms of ID, we will throw away the letter. It's that simple. But he's like, I'm not going to do it. I'm like, well, you're no longer a client. Have a good day. And we refunded his money. That might sound harsh, but here's the fact. We have more clients per day calling us and applying than we can actually get back to. And to be frank with you guys, I don't know if I'm even going to do this next week. I honestly don't know because I can't even keep up with the people that are calling us already. And I don't know if I need to spend 2 hours a week doing this. I might just let my salespeople do it. I don't know. We'll see. But after this page, you scroll in, you upload your driver's license, your social security card, your utility bill. I had someone on last week that said, a month ago, you showed this same presentation, except for it was $3,000. Why is it now only $129? Because I don't need the money. I'm doing this to help you. That's what happens when you almost die. And maybe I just decide next month that I'm just not going to do it anymore at all. I don't know. I doubt it. I've been doing it 17 years. I can't just bail on thousands of people. You upload your ID. See how simple this is? And the guy's like, I'm not going to do it. It's too hard. This is on your phone. Driver's license, upload. Social security card, upload. Proof of address, upload. What if you don't have it? Then you skip this. And then when you do your onboarding call, we'll get it from you. We'll walk you through it. And don't worry. That's what we have. The next step is your onboarding call. So your onboarding call is 15 to 20 minutes with a credit consultant, and they're going to go through your credit report with you. They're going to find out what's going on with your credit. And then they're going to make sure you have the proper identification. And that's what the guy was like, I'm not giving it to you. So we're like, okay, well, we're not going to do it. And we just gave him back his money because he's eventually just going to go to the BBB and say we suck and like the other 10 people in the last 17 years. Isn't that crazy? We have over 100,000 people have gone through our system. We have around 10 complaints, and people are always like, you have so many complaints. Out of 100,000 people, you think 10 and all of them didn't pay? Look at Bank of America's reviews. Mother Teresa's. Look at God's reviews. And then you schedule your onboarding call. Schedule your call. Now, here's what happens. You can do the onboarding call with me tonight. If you sign up tonight, let me know, and I'm going to share with you what you can do tomorrow to improve your credit score, 165 points. So whoever enrolls tonight, stay on with me, and I'm going to show you tonight what to do to increase your credit score 165 points tomorrow. Once you enroll, you're going to log into this page here. You get access to everything. Now, you're also going to get an agreement that you have to sign electronically. It's going to email it to you. You're going to get some other emails, some scheduling emails, etc. And then anytime you need help, you just give us a call. Okay, so it's $1 tonight, or if you're ready to enroll all in full, it's $129. Whatever's up to you. It doesn't matter. The big thing is if you're like, I got to pay on this certain day of the week or this certain day of the month, and you don't have the money today, then pay the $1 tonight. When you do your onboarding call tomorrow, you can tell them, hey, I want to pay on the 13th of the month, or I want to pay every other Friday, or whatever your payment schedule is. That's fine. Then they'll work that out for you. Okay? All right, let's see what we got here. This is one of the emails you're going to get. For anyone who rolls tonight, here's the thing. If you just call in, you enroll through one of my sales consultants, you actually don't get this. This is my special treat for you. Because some of you have been here for an hour and a half, and I appreciate that because your time's valuable and you're never going to get it back. So I want to reward you. I want to make you the hero of your family, of your friends, and at work. You're going to get 3 coupons that you can give to anyone. I don't care who it is. 3 coupons, you give it to anyone. You can give it to your wife, your husband, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, coworker. And when you give it to them, they get to enroll free of charge. And then if they decide to stay with us after they try us out for 30 days, they decide that, hey, this guy might be onto something. I like it. Then you get the following month for free. So if you pay tonight, you get 3 buy one, get one frees, essentially. It's not buy one, get one free. It's refer one, get one. So you sign up tonight. Tomorrow, you'll get 3 certificates you can hand out to anybody you want. They get their first month for free. And as long as they don't cancel, they can cancel. They cancel, you don't get the free month. But if they continue, which they do, you get the following month for free. And people are always like, man, I wish someone would give me that coupon that was here last week. So anybody signs up online, that's what you get. That's one of the extra bonuses. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Again, this is where you scan it in. So I'm going to leave this right here. Go ahead and open up the chat if you have questions for me. If you're already a client and you're just here to see me do this again, you can ask questions too. I'm happy to answer those questions. I will just answer the enrollment questions first. But if you're already a client, I'm happy to answer any question you have as well as tomorrow. Okay. So Mark Talbert says, thanks, Rondi. Already enrolled and super excited to work with you and your team. Going to upgrade to business too. It's a real deal, brother. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Here's the thing. If you sign up for the personal credit and then you get into it and you're like, I really like this. I have a business. You simply just upgrade. You do it right there in your app, right on your phone. You just click it, hit update. Are you sure? Yes. Don't even have to call us. As soon as you update, it charges you and it opens up all the business credit. And then it sends you an email with your login and password to the credit, the business credit portal, because it's separate. Okay. Let's see. Someone says, can I start over on YouTube? Yes, that was Chris Maddox. Sure. Right there's Chris. Scan that in, pay it. You can start all over. That's how you get going. Absolutely. Let's see if any other questions. All right. So if any of you are going to sign up tonight, please let me know, and I will start preparing to show you exactly what you can do tomorrow to increase your credit score up to 165 points. If you have any questions, raise your hand, unmute yourself, just start talking. It's not gonna upset me if you just start talking. That's fine. If you'd rather ask your question in the chat, go ahead. if you don't have any questions, then I'm going to close it out. If none of you are enrolling, or, I'm going to show you as soon as you log into the portal, you're going to know how to do it. But if you wanted to do it tonight and see how to get down to 165 points, I can do it with you tonight. Otherwise, I can just show you inside the portal. Or if you enroll tonight with $1 and you attend the Thursday night coaching call, which tomorrow will be at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, I will share with you then how to increase your credit score 165 points very, very quickly. It's inside of our system. And a lot of people don't know it's there. And many credit repair companies wish they had it, but they don't because it's mine. So, all right. I don't see any questions. So, guys, I appreciate all of the thumbs up, the encouraging words that some of you are sending me on the private messages, the support. If I can help you in any way, please let me know. If you sign up tonight or tomorrow online, you're going to get 3 gift certificates to give to your friends, family, and coworkers. Be a hero to them. Feel free to share that with anyone. If you don't sign up, you don't get the gift certificates. That's only for clients. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. See you later.